Hello. Hello, everybody. We're here. We're ready. For Jolly. This might be the biggest race on SRL I've personally seen. It is truly massive. We're at 38 or something people, 35 people so far. I wonder if I should even pull up the thing and put it on stream.
The SRL pop-out thing? Yeah, that could be good. That's the kind of scale we're working with here.
I know.
This event. The event that is, of course, part of Mystery Fun Fest. It officially kicked off just a few hours ago. Many of you have already dove in, started playing games on the activity list, racking up tickets. But sprinkled throughout the next 2 weeks, we're going to be doing some of these live, one-time only events that you can compete in to earn tickets for your team. And we're kicking it off with a race of 5 back-to-back escape the room style flash games from the gaming sensation that feverishly gripped our community for like a solid month.
Like 2 months.
Gamescom.com.
But yeah, Games Too Jolly. What can you say about Games Too Jolly? I don't know.
That's funny because I was like, I'm gonna throw it over to Internet Dirigible to explain what,
Oh, I can explain
what Games Too Jolly is.
I was more just kind of gonna just say, how it, what it meant to me on an emotional level. But as far as to explain what Games Too Jolly is, that's hard too. It's a mix of puzzles and escape tricks, self-described, but it's hard to really say what an escape trick is. It's basically whatever just is clicking on something to let you move forward. You're given a limited number of screens in which you have to observe clues, get items in your inventory, and use them to accomplish a goal, usually explained at the beginning of the game. The goal could literally be anything you could think of, from getting people out of the sewer to, I guess, reestablish that you're the world's strongest school, to getting a brinjal out of a cage, which is an eggplant. That's about as much as I can say about it. It's so hard to explain Jolly. I will say that Jolly's a good name for it. It makes you happy. It makes me jolly, at the very least.
It's the fun in it is seeing what stupid thing they're gonna do now. And then layered on top of that is just like there's like a fundamental joy that comes with just clicking things into place, just filling all the holes with the weird objects to make that go away, and using keys to unlock doors. These are very simple things, but there's an innate joy to doing them, and then layered on top of that is the skill in doing it quickly, which we add in here with our races, and it became just a cocktail, I guess, of just appealing. Something about it just came together in this wonderful way that was enthralling to many of us.
Absolutely. I couldn't have put it better myself, and nor did I.
I don't know, you said some nice things.
Yeah, it's the thing about Jolly is that it really is pretty fundamentally different than what I would call a video game, which is, I think, really interesting around here, because we mostly see video games. But this is something, I don't know what you would call it, but it's not exactly a video game. It's something. It's an experience for sure. It's art, I suppose.
It's art.
Yeah, not quite the art of balance, but it's something close to it.
You're right. It does feel strange to be like, we are racing Games Too Jolly on SRL. Like, that's where the name of the game goes. Like, it says right there, I'm looking at it, game, space, games2jolly.com. And it doesn't look right. It looks like we're committing a sin of some kind by suggesting...
The final gamer sin we've committed. No, well, you know, some people are just big Games Too Jolly fans. I think if you go on the Games Too Jolly website, which I would not recommend, so we're by no means recommending it, but you know, it's kind of like, you know, sometimes journalists have to go into war zones. If you feel like you need to know, you go to the Games Too Jolly website. You will see that there are people that play every game and comment on every game. These are still coming out. We don't prefer the Unity ones because they don't have funny stories like all the Flash ones do. So we're playing these on Flashpoint, which is a sort of Flash game preservation system. But there's plenty to choose from. There's like 2,000 on Flashpoint, and I think that's enough. Is it legal to multitask? Nightmare doesn't understand how seriously we take our jolly around here. I will be showing 4 people on stream, but this race so far has 37 entrants, which is which is awesome that this is going to be one of the biggest races we've had in quite some time.
This is also going to be a little bit different. We've done best of threes where we played multiple Jolly games, but we've never done a Gauntlet back to back. So there's 5 games here. The players are going to be, I think, loading all of them up, getting all of them to the lore screen. Potentially, wait, now that I think about it, do you have a chance to mute the audio from them before you get in game? Usually not, right? So maybe they're just gonna mute all the audio entirely.
How do you mean? Like, I can choose whose audio I want now before we.
I'm worried the players are gonna have like 3 different songs playing all the time because they have. I guess there's no.
Well, we tested that, and if you leave them, if you leave it on the
lower screen
on the screen where it like talks about 6 days a week, there's no audio.
Okay.
And it'll just hang there. I guess not all games have that. We're pretty familiar with the ins and outs of the way, you know, different Jolly games handle themselves.
All of the games have a screen that we call the lore screen that explains what the premise of this game is. And usually it's a Mad Lib of a preset thing that they have, and they've just filled in the blanks with whatever nouns they have attached to the file names of pictures that someone has drawn to cobble together an attempt at some kind of story. And then there's also a screen after that with this canned animation that's like, new games every Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. They don't even come up in order. And they never do it on Sunday.
That is true. Now I wonder why that one is saying it's not. Well, anyways, keep going, Myth. I've got stream stuff to sort.
So they're going to be playing 5 games. I picked them. I think these ones are not easy, right? Some of these are very easy. Trivial, and experts will get them done in under 5 minutes. Like, they'll start pushing 3 minutes. I don't think we're going to see any of that. These ones got a little more meat to them. I think there's a ton of Jolly newbies who are coming out for this. And this could be a longer thing for them. We could see this go over an hour pretty easily for them, I think. But I didn't get stuck. And even though I've played like 500 of these games by now, sometimes I still get stuck and I just look stuff up. Because every game has a walkthrough button, which is kind of amazing, actually. We don't give the developers a lot of credit around here, but we should sometimes for things like that.
Now,
So I did not need to walk through, and I hope that that's enough that these are not going to be too hard for our players.
now let's. Now, is 500 an exaggeration?
No. I have played 430, and then on top of like the tournament were like commentary and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
500.
still do these regularly then?
I did for a bit. There was I started playing a little bit to find games for our Christmas event not too
Right.
long ago, or New Year's or whatever it was, and then I just kept playing some more again a little bit. Just cut like maybe like 50 or something. Just a little. I just need a little.
They're good little bite-sized, and they get addicting. They are kind of addicting. It's kind of difficult to say. It's really difficult to understand really any of it. I mean, it's this is the hardest thing. I can talk about. This is a big hobby for me at this point, all this mystery racing and mystery funhouse and all this stuff, and I can tell my family and people about it. This is a difficult thing to get across, I think, to people. Just the idea of Jolly. It's hard to really know where to start and where to end.
Yeah. I have talked to my family about this, and I gave them the elevator pitch, and they laughed at it. Basically a lot of what we just went over in the intro, which helped because we used to play point and click adventure games together as a family, playing like Full Throttle.
Got it.
Yeah, that was so there was a lot about that they immediately understood. And then I said, just imagine like the English is broken and the logic is bizarre, nothing makes sense, and it's funny. These things make it fun.
So, yeah, at this point, we're just waiting for everyone to be ready. Like I said, this race is massive. At one point, Boney asked me what the ratio is of the two different teams, because this is part of our Mystery Funhouse event. I guess I want to be clear about that.
Mystery Fun Fest.
Mystery Fun Fest, indeed. Where there are two different teams, and we're competing for a ton of different stuff over the next 2 weeks. To try and accrue the most tickets, and the tickets are accrued in various events. Somebody can probably link the site in chat, but too much going on for me to figure that out. So if somebody else wants to look at the race room and figure out who's representing what team, I will say we have the Ghosts on the left, and we have the Troopas on the right. I'm showing 4 of our racers on screen. Some Girl, Aaron, Dobie, Jackazam, and that one guy. But, like I said, there's 37 people in this race.
So just looking at, I don't know, I need to like cross-reference who's in the race. But strong jolly players for the Ghosts. Maurice, Nico Jazz, Exuno. You're commentating here.
Yeah, I am not.
Jackazan. Funny too. I'm a trooper too, so we got opposite teams representing here on commentary as well.
Left side. That's what they say, right? They say left side when they
left side. Yeah.
yeah.
And then they come out and they take their
They all
pinky and
they
their
all turn
thumb
their
and they
hands
make
into
an L
L's.
shape.
L's, yeah, to represent left.
Pufferfish King is out here playing for the Ghosts. Definitely one of the best to do it. Some Girl is very good. And I probably missed some people because I'm trying to go quick here. But then also for the Troopas, we got Aaron Dobie, the Grand Jolly Maester himself. Alpha 5 is pretty strong at these.
Is Alpha here?
I don't know.
Alpha's not. But we've got quite a few people on their team as well. Muware, I believe, is on the Troopas.
No, a ghost.
Oh no, Muware's on our team? Yeah. He created Jolly View, the screenshot tool that we use to play Jolly games.
I'm going down the list, and there's not nearly TPC's on our team. We don't got the Jolly the way that the ghosts do. Gotta be honest.
We've been hyping it up. We've been hyping it up in the chat.
I think it's actually a bit of a shame for our team that I'm in the commentary seat now that I think about it. Oh,
somebody has to.
I always want to be here.
And I'm not so bad at Jolly games myself, but each team sacrificed one. Oh, would you read the lore? This is gonna be starting fairly soon.
Yeah, so we're not gonna get a chance to read some of this, I think, as the players are gonna go as fast as possible once it starts. But before it does get going, A Look at Solar Eclipse is the new point-and-click escape game from Games 2 Jolly Family. Yeah, just to be clear, that's the name of the game that they are playing. A Look at Solar Eclipse. We are at a telescope viewpoint located at one of the highest peaks. During the beautiful occurrences in the sky like eclipses, falling starts, and other such lovely occurrences, people used to come here to view those occurrences. They have used that word way too many times. More beautifully with the telescope. There was a problem with the opening roof of the tower. Find a way to make it work so that assembled people can view the solar eclipse. Good luck.
See if we can get some sound. Oh, there we go. A little too much. I apologize. This is some good Jolly music. Okay, what's happening here?
Yeah, this is going to be mayhem. We usually don't do four-way races.
No, yeah, this is crazy.
Aaron Dovey is operating a left-to-right lock. The sequence of purples and pinks is determined by the conch shell in the inventory, left to right. Topple these batteries. They got some symbols on the top. That's right. You thought you were going to put those batteries into some kind of electronic device to power it? No, you're just looking at the bottom of each of them to rotate these arrows in the correct way to get a wooden disc.
We've got... So the left-right puzzles are common. Object locks are common, where there's silhouettes and you need to put the stuff in. Interacting with objects in your inventory is somewhat rare, but you should expect to see about one every Jolly. You cannot solve a puzzle until you already have the solution. You can't brute force puzzles. I mean, you can, but you have to have had an opportunity to see it in order to solve a puzzle.
That's sort of the exception to things most of the time. Aaron Adobe's got a PC that he's plugged a string of lights into, which has powered it up into a string of colors.
That's perfect. USB Christmas lights. Hopefully your computer is near the tree.
Oh, and then found a string of yellow and red, so he needs to match these to the string of lights to get a key. People have found a series of buttons just on the stairs.
So the buttons just go into the inventory. That's kind of tricky. That could... I think people are going to get it, but unless you've played some Jolly before, that could really trip you up.
There are so many times, too, where inexplicably, like, your character just seems to know the answer. Like, they'll get a book and a pen, and you use the pen on the book, and they just write the solution to the puzzle down, and then you go and put the solution in. But it's like, how? But if you already knew, you didn't need to edit. We've been trying to explain anomalies like this as we've gone on and played so many of these.
As far as who makes this game, certainly the same people. We can say that much. That it is a consistent group of people, or perhaps single person, my god, who's making these games.
Oh, here we go. So the switches, when you rotate them to the correct position, they turn green, which is the same color as those other green switches. So.
Okay, yep.
Now,
but they're...
the shadow on one side, though, will help you figure out.
You can tell which way they're facing because of the impossible shading, the sheen on the... That's awful.
Uh-huh.
That's
Some girls
a pretty
got the
bad
string
one.
of lights. Oh, we're seeing some girl using the snipping tool. You mentioned Jolly View is a really powerful thing. I haven't bothered to set it up, so I just take screenshots. And here we go, using a telescope to look directly at a solar eclipse. This is not a good idea. This is
Jolly escape from the world around you. You no longer have your vision. That's life, I guess. You've escaped from the oppression that is sight. Fantastic. We're using that one guy's audio, but Aaron is on to game 2. The Grand Jolly Meister. That's what we expect of him.
This is Jolly Theater Escape. You start outside the theater, and you can get in. I thought maybe you had to do some stuff to get inside.
In Israel, I suppose.
Yeah, it's. You never know if they just decided to draw a shape or what.
Yeah. No, what was I gonna... man, I was gonna say something, but I don't remember what. That one guy has solved this. This is a fast one. Are they cruising, or is it just a faster one?
We were a little late on the timer, so I think I gave this one 3 out of 5 for difficulty, that opening one. And it only goes up. I would say it's... Well, maybe the last one goes down again, but this one should be a little bit more of a stumper in spots, perhaps.
Oh, the egg!
Escaping as well.
You got the egg. You always just find stuff. It's unclear. Jackazam also moving on to the next game. Some girl still on game 1, but there are 5 games here. There's plenty of time to catch up.
Some girl got stuck on this device where you press buttons and it lights up a certain number of light bulbs, or one position of the light bulb is always dim, and that gives you the numbers for 1, 2, 3 or something in some kind of order. It's a little bit weird, and it tripped her up.
In the device, or like in your inventory, you can't interact, you can't combine items unless you click on an inventory item and end up in a blue jolly void. And there, anything is possible, but you can't do anything before you go there when it comes to combining items or interacting with your inventory items.
That one guy has a phone next to a laptop and is just turned on the laptop and doesn't...
Needs a cord, perhaps.
Yeah, doesn't understand what's going on there yet. It's picked up some kind of ninja star, Aaron Toby, as well.
Yeah, they're running Windows 7. Good stuff. Again, if these seem, old or dated or something, some of them might be somewhat old, but I mean, these are still being made, and the Unity ones aren't particularly different. So, I mean, they're still happening. This is now cutting edge.
Used to input a color lock to get some stars.
Those
3
are masks?
luchador masks going in.
Okay, I thought they were eggs. I guess they're masks.
Yeah, or maybe they're
Don't
like
put
Super
the coin
Sentai.
in the coffee machine?
Well, there's like a round slot in there. Like it's really unclear what you're gonna do at all with that coffee machine. So you don't. Rule number 16 or something of Jolly is don't think about it, right?
Yeah,
you
shouldn't try and logic out what you're doing. Some girl has moved on to this next game. I barely noticed. Yeah, that's actually a thing that can trip people up. Not knowing you can even just go to a certain screen.
Yeah. It's there. Sometimes you walk into a house and there's like arrows to the left and right, and it's really that is not very common. So it's easy to just kind of go one way and think you can only go that way and miss an entire screen.
Unfortunately, the answer is not bulk library this time. I haven't seen any... Oh, nice! Turn off the fan. The piece of paper was stuck. Could have just grabbed it, but this is more fun. It's unclear whether or not whoever the protagonist is has any limbs or the ability to use them.
It's very unclear about a lot of things. Both Aaron Dobie and that one guy have a rectangle. That's what this red object is when they mouse over it in their inventory. I don't even... Oh, it goes there. Okay, now it's green.
There. My favorite is when the thing
puppy.
like matches the perspective of the object that you put it on. Like it's crooked in your inventory, so it goes on a wall facing away from you.
Yes,
there's the cable. Micro USB. We've got symbols. Oh, I was going to say what Jolly View does. All that does is show existing screenshots. You take it with normal Windows screenshot tools. Wow, look at that efficient way to move through those symbols. That's a technique that was developed over the Jolly tournament.
Yeah, it's
never
true.
named
People
it.
have different ways of operating these locks, but it matters. Like if you mess it up, like you got to roll over the whole thing again to get back to the number or letter. The letters often aren't alphabetical in the the list, so sometimes there's 6, sometimes there's 8 or 10 letters in any individual slot, so you never know exactly how many times to click each time.
These 2 Jolly games that we've played so far are some of the most grounded Jolly games I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah.
They're so... they're really
Like-
grounded in real life in almost every way. There's a few weird things, but this is, like, pretty normal for Jolly.
So that one guy has a sign that has the words SMO crossed out.
I see that.
And I remember what this is. There's a no smoking sign. So you cross out the SMO and you go put no king into the 6-letter lock on the wall.
No king!
No king.
That's awful. That's the craziest thing ever. No
There
SMO.
it is. That one guy's mousing over it in a very intentional way.
Yeah, no king. No king. He
Here it
knows
comes.
it. I can't believe he knows it. Wow. Look at that. Clicks. Oh my gosh.
So that one guy is doing that because if you click on one as fast as you can, there's no way you're going to react in time to the letter coming up. So you click accurately, ideally, on all of them, and then that gives your brain enough time to recognize when a certain letter has come up. And it is kind of magical when they're able to just dance around the entire board and rapid fire all the letters into place.
Yeah. This is you know what they say about Jolly? You never forget. It's like riding a bike. You know, we haven't had the tournament in a while, but the techniques are still there. These people are still probably as close as you could ever get to professional at playing Jolly games. Who knows? Maybe this is going to be the next thing to blow up on Twitch.
Yeah,
It wasn't
maybe.
last time, but
Just maybe. Aaron Dobie's got the rectangle in. I think this is going to start the sequence of events that is going to let Aaron get to where that one guy is. But that one guy is kind of stuck. He's got a piece of pizza and nothing else going on.
what do you do with the pizza? Do you eat it?
I do not remember whatsoever what
You
to do
you
with this
can't eat
pizza.
the pizza because your character can do nothing. Your character cannot interact with the world in a way that doesn't involve placing an inventory object somewhere or taking it from somewhere. I think
Yeah.
that that's a pretty solid rule. I guess sometimes they cut open like a couch cushion, but like
Yeah, they'll use a shovel to dig up the lawn or hammer a thing.
yeah, you cross
or
out the
operate-
SMO in pizza, and then it's no. Oh no, I guess it'd still be no pizza. There's no SMO.
See, that one guy's just like pizza on the screen. Like what? Like that's.
Oh, you
where
give it to the
get
man.
with
You
these
give it to
games.
the boy. Jack and Sam gave the pizza to the boy.
Oh, he's hungry. 2832. That's the code. So you can make progress in a lot of different ways at a lot of different times. So it's going to be literally impossible for us to accurately keep track of everything.
Yeah, it's not fully linear often. There are a few Jolly games that skew more that way. Okay, so this is another thing. Sometimes you'll start outside of an area that's kind of like a Jolly trope, and then you'll forget that you can go all the way out because there's a limit. Yeah, so that one guy knows exactly where to go because they only had like one thing left to do. Jackazam still has to do the cable and the coffee.
It's your time, 10:30 a.m. It's a click race. It's a click off.
What a
that one
bad
guy's clicking
zero.
faster.
That zero's awful. Oh, the projector! It's just like a classroom projector. Whatever. We're sitting
All right,
in the
let's
movie
just
theater.
set all this stuff up. Just plugging stuff. We literally just
Hook it up,
flick it
plug
in
it
there.
in.
Power on. We can
Here we
start
go.
the movie, baby. Here it comes. What is
Games
it?
Too
It's
Jolly.
Games Too Jolly.
Oh no, that's the ant. Are they watching Don Kong? Oh man, that one guy already moving on. Jolly Escape. Do I have a Jolly Escape popover? I think I do. Maybe a little redundant.
A little bit.
I have
All right,
Player
moving
Dead,
on
but
to-
there's not much of a reason to ever play Player Dead.
Game 3. Cemetery Treasure Escape is the next one coming up.
My goodness. The real cemetery treasure is the friends we made along the way, I guess.
The friends we lost.
Yeah,
in
the
war.
friends we lost along the way. This game has a more contemplative bent to it. Much quieter music. I'll turn up that one guy a little bit. If anyone's unfamiliar, see, there's so much we can't go over all the Jolly lore, but I recommend the videos have been going back up on the website, and they're actually pretty fun to watch if you want to go back and watch some of the Jolly tournament, or on our YouTube, I mean. But there's a song where we kept thinking in the middle they were saying Ouija. But it turns out they were saying preview because they didn't pay for the song, and so they were using the royalty-free just preview version of the song and had never paid. That's a weird puzzle. You rotate them, but they kind of lay on top of each other. You know, you can get it eventually, but Jolly will switch things up on occasion, but they definitely have some no, I've thought about making a Games to Jolly iceberg. Actually, I have legitimately thought about it. I think it would be far too large. They would have to have
Aaron Dobie is still stuck at the end of this theater. Some girl and Jackazam have made a ton of progress. They both got this coffee cup in their inventory that was used up pretty quick by the players on the right, and I don't remember what it's for, but that's their bottleneck, I'm pretty sure.
That one guy is making up for the lack of Krupas in the race by dominating this race right here. So far. Oh, put it in the cannon. See, you know, it'll do stuff like that, where you have the ball, and they need the little black, round, shiny balls to go in the eyes of the statue, but not that black, round, shiny ball. That one goes in the cannon.
Yes.
It is nearly identical.
Fires, and it breaks the statue, and nothing happens.
Well, there must be a point to it.
Yes, but that one guy does not know at all at this point what it is.
Do you know what it is?
I do.
No, I'm just curious if you remember. I legitimately have no idea what the point to that would be. I guess maybe to interact with something later. Oh, you can go inside. You could have just gone inside any time. My goodness.
Has seen these blocks before in an arrangement. It's very unclear, like, what piece should go where, I think. This is one of the more confusing ones.
Yeah, this is crazy. Sometimes there's, like, actual puzzles. This is a puzzle. Anything that you would say, that's not a puzzle, we'll just say that's an escape trick.
It's found the letter M with a bunch of colors. Is using a magic wand on a
the animation canceled.
Jack-o'-lantern. Oh, so this was, I think Aaron Dobie maybe popularized this one, but there are many animations you have to sit there and watch, and often you can just back out and come back in, and it skips the animation.
Basically what happened is at some point they repaired their engine to where you were allowed to do that, but if you do it in an old enough game, that will soft block you, and you'll have to restart the game, so it is somewhat risky. Because there's not really any way to know unless you're really in tune to the Games to Jolly catalog. Yeah.
Aaron Dobie, I thought moved on to the next game, but I was mistaken, has restarted the second game, thinks that maybe they've soft-locked themselves.
Oh no. Some girl just put in no king. Or maybe Jackazam did no king.
Jackazam's got the projector, just needs to hit the button on the computer.
What button? Which button do you hit to start it?
on the computer on the right, on the black tower.
The
is
power
actually
button?
the thing. Yeah. Hit
but
it.
It's already What? Okay.
Yep.
Well, we're here. We're going.
I didn't give him easy ones. I told you.
Cemetery. Well, that's easy. Could have guessed that one. Well,
yeah,
this
sometimes
technique.
you could totally.
The snaking. Oh my gosh.
Okay, messed it up a little bit here.
Still,
not perfect, but it's okay.
Okay, there's the other eye for the statue. Oh no, that's another cannonball.
Got a second cannonball. Blast the statue even more.
This is crazy. This is beyond. I liken it to an experience that I'm sure many of us have had, which is watching through the Donkey Kong Country animated TV show, where you really notice when there's a new piece of animation. You're like, wow, they're not reusing this animation. They made this just for this episode. It's that kind of thing.
Yep. I really love the idea of operating this cannon multiple times to shoot at this statue. And just smash it into several pieces before you finally get whatever comes out of it.
That's another thing that happens. Oh, shoot. Well, we can still do a prediction. There's a ton of people. There's no way it's been spoiled at this point.
Yeah, that's true. We have 4 of our strong players here on stream, but there's plenty more racing off stream. Who knows how all of them are doing? That one guy's answering a puzzle with a bunch of bats. It's got a shovel and a hook. Is trying to dig the really obvious dark spot on the ground that you always use a shovel on. Is trying to use the hook to pull down this projector wheel thing in the middle. It's a very sensible thought. Okay, here we go. Just dig underneath the grave. That's not weird in the cemetery. Misses the statue with the cannonball. There's a rule of 4s also in Jolly. Very often you do a thing 4 times to complete it. Maybe 3, maybe 4. Your 4th cannonball shot just whiffs over the top of the statue, and you need to find a 5th one in order to actually finish it off.
That is weird.
All right, here it is.
So the left side is the ghost, but at the same time, there's a lot more people in this race than we have on screen. I'm only going to close that prediction once we know everything.
Jolly escape. That one guy moving on to the 4th game.
Wow.
Jolly Boy Mars escape. So there's a lot of games in the Jolly Boy series, and all of them are kind of top tier for the most part. Like they bring their A game when they are peddling their mascot here, and just I don't know why or how, but all the puzzles always end up the most interesting or complex. The craziest things happen.
Oh wow, there he is.
And I'm excited. There he is.
Yeah. I usually the inventory moved on top of the. Sometimes stuff just happens. Yeah, I was called Jolly Boy, like Orange Gumby, I guess you could call it. Yakazam is also... Oh no, this is still Cemetery. Those are just the exact same asset. I see.
Hey, Aaron, don't be done with the theater escape. Going to be joining Some Girl and Jakazam in the cemetery now. A full game behind that one guy. So the plot here is Jolly Boy is going to go to Mars, but he can't find his space helmet.
Got it. Yeah, that would be that'd be an issue, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bit of general knowledge. Which of these spacefaring organizations is tied to which country?
What guy said shit I don't know? Wiggles his mouse around in frustration.
There is no clue that is going to give you a piece of paper to tell you which one goes where. Well, this one, yes, you will find one for whatever this is that one guy's doing.
That one guy just knew it.
Okay.
Just knew which planes belonged to which plane maker.
I think probably saw something and had a screenshot. If I
You're
had
probably
to guess.
Right. I love that you just have to know which country has which space organization. I could really only probably name 2. I guess I didn't know there were that many space organizations.
Exactly.
That's a crazy puzzle.
Thankfully, like, you can probably guess, like, in the first level, the first letter's probably C for China, right? Like, there's stuff like that. So there's only so many possibilities.
Our only clue as to where these games come from is that they call eggplants brinjals, which are apparently they call that in sort of like India, Bangladesh, that area. So I don't know. Probably that part of the world, but we don't really know.
There's other stuff too. Like they had a puzzle that was about filling in sports stars with the sport they play.
Oh, and it was a lot of cricket, wasn't it?
And like Tendulkar or something came up, and everyone was like, "Who?" And then we looked it up, and it's like, "Oh, he's like he's 8th on the list of like India's most influential, beloved people, and is an absolute
got it
cricket star, and was for years, sort of thing." And there's movies about him. And okay, but yeah, like that's where if that's their idea of cultural relevance, right? And they're probably
And now they have advertising on their website, and I figure that's how they make money, I suppose. But these people keep coming back. Oh, nice! Put the weight on the box and flipped it over. Could have just lifted up the box, but who cares? We think that you probably don't. There's no way you have any strength beyond the ability to telekinetically move objects to a predetermined spot. I think that that's the extent of your powers as a jolly protagonist. The left-right!
On the rocket ship,
This is a good left-right. They're not even buttons.
Just jiggling the wings of this rocket. Like,
Yeah.
they probably shouldn't be allowed to jiggle like that.
Well, that's not the rocket. There's no way.
You don't know. You don't know anything about what's
It's
gonna
true,
happen.
I don't know. If that's the rocket, I will be surprised. Well, it's not that one on the table. I think I know that.
He just shrinks down into the table-sized rocket and then blasts off to a little model on the ceiling.
Yeah, that circle is suspicious. I'm with that one guy here, but I wouldn't know what goes there. Shape. Classic. If you get shape, object, symbol, often they just end up going into a wall somewhere.
Yeah. Jackazam has noted this cross has got colors on it. The thing that tells you what order to grab them in is kind of weird. It's like a 3-clue puzzle.
That one guy put in research, but didn't use their normal techniques, so that seemed like maybe a guess. They must have seen it somewhere. Oh.
I don't know if that was intentional clicking there by that one guy, but it has unlocked the phone and got a Z.
Maybe it just happens. Who knows?
That one guy is on the 4th game. Aaron Dobie, Some Girl, Jackazam, all on the 3rd. I
Yes.
forgot about the zombie who high fives the grave to smash it open. And then there's the shot that just whiffs. Look, Some Girl's baffled. She moves her mouse over and she's like, what?
Man, this is awesome. Really high quality games here, kicking off the Fun Fest.
You're not even like, oh yeah, you just use this rock to just smash this glass window.
Nice. Oh, twice. Oh, and the animation cancel. Way to go.
I love the idea of being in like this literal space launching facility, the cutting edge of all technology, and then just picking up a rock and smashing this thing.
Well, it's an important object if they have to keep it behind glass in the first place, so. Oh, okay, yeah, that was the 5-digit code, that 28 whatever. Shodoval with an interesting point in chat. That's how they knew the code to the phone. That makes sense. Fast thinking on that one guy's part.
Was clicking around on the phone a lot though. Like it didn't seem like it was purposeful.
Okay. That one guy says, I guess I just have to know. I know NASA.
There's 2 eyes and there's 2 C's,
eyes.
which is
One
really
of them's India,
brutal.
one of them's Israel. Plus the order of these, my goodness, is just total nonsense, I think. Maybe they're in alphabetical order, but there's such massive gaps that it's difficult to... No, they're not. Nice! Was able to brute force it.
Jackazam, yes, with the final cannon shot, gonna be joining Some Girl and that one guy on the 4th game of this 5-game series.
Perfect. That one guy says,
Gauntlet.
where does the button go? Oh, the smiling cat bot tells us the code. Wow, skipped over the red effortlessly. That was crazy. I thought he missed it, and then it's like, oh no, that one needed to be red.
Yeah, that's how I do the colors for sure. Every time I get the chance. It's a little bit weird when you want to test to see if a thing is interactable. You set one of them to all of them are red, and you click one, it turns green or something, and then it remembers that when you come back, and so it'll screw you up if you're trying to do that technique. There is a rocket. Stars going into the rocket.
Oh, only 3 stars. That's good. I would have expected 4. Often there needs to be 4.
A smaller bottle rocket comes out of the larger rocket.
Oh no. Is this how we get to Mars? Could we have gotten to Mars this whole time with just some dollar store fireworks? Okay.
There it is. It goes in the bottle out here.
Okay.
You light it, it explodes, it knocks this thing down. There's another star.
What? Well, that was too far in the background.
There's
we never
the
could have gotten
helmet.
there. There's the helmet. Where's he gonna go?
The boys going to Mars, baby. Let's go.
He's trying to do it soon. Oh, there it is.
Mars. We are on to our final game. It's Camel Cave Escape, and you know those camels, they're always just so distracted by those helicopters out in the desert. It's a very common problem, and oh no!
Oh no, did he fall into the boiling pot? I hope not.
You gotta find him. You got a Camel Cave Escape.
Oh, he could be anywhere. Oh no, this is like photographs. These are the scary jollies. You come up on one like this, you're like, oh no, this is not as pleasant as the other jollies. Yeah, these are like the mixed media jolly. You have to be careful.
Look at this. What is going on in this cave?
Yeah, this is crazy. Oh, and it's got this. This is the most unsettling jolly music too. This is the same one that was in Jolly Boy Time Machine, where you're in the house with the guy who hung himself and like with his hands in his pockets even.
Oh man. It's just a bunch of spider webs over here.
Can you zoom in on that? No.
I found this one to be quite surreal.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Like it's
What the hell is that? I mean, you just
okay,
gotta...
the camel's okay.
Okay, he's... Yeah, he looks like he's doing well. Oh, nice. Didn't need the box, but we got what was in the box. Oh my... Okay. Open up 3 more boxes. Yeah, he's doing all right.
We're gonna get you out of there, bud. Don't worry.
Camel caves. Oh, good. Oh, jeez. What a creepy ass mannequin. That's scarier than most of what's Elden Ring. I just finished Elden Ring, and I would say that's scarier than nearly everything in that game.
It's not scary. It's got a cowboy hat on. It can't be scary if you put a cowboy hat on.
That's what happened to the Martian after you went to Mars.
Look at these skulls, Internet Dirigible. These are not human skulls. No human has a skull like that. Where are we?
Why are these, we have so many different circles. Okay, that's weird, because those weren't the same. Normally it's the same things that go in a lock, not a bunch of different things that are the same shape. That would throw me off, playing Jolly. Oh, of course you can just take those.
Aaron Dobie finally gets the final cannonball, is done with Cemetery Treasure Escape, joining Some Girl and Jackazam on the 4th game, Jolly Boy Mars Escape.
Oh, you gotta put the
finishes yet.
in the skee ball like board.
Yep, 50 points.
Perfect. Jackazam is pressing the rocket fins. Oh my gosh, using the sword, cutting down the meteorite.
It's just in your inventory. I think it says magic ball.
Oh,
it goes on the altar.
Oh, and it just turns into
it transforms into a totally normal ball.
What a waste! It's like reverse alchemy. I can turn gold into lead. That was a magic ball before. Now it's just like an iron orb.
Flashlights always are used in dark places to reveal things. And this one's no different, but it's a little bit hard to find which dark spot to use it on.
What is happening?
Oh yeah, when you zoom in on Space Research Center, you need to clue in that research in the middle is like more prominently framed.
When that one guy put in the word, he was far less confident than when he normally puts stuff in, and I think he was just kind of like, maybe this is it, and it did turn out to be right, but...
Yeah, as long as you click on that sign, the lock will accept research, even if you don't even realize why.
You do have to...
I think it's up to right on this screen. Yes, there. No, I'm wrong. Okay, fine. It's somewhere else. This screen?
Yeah, what is he supposed to do with this flashlight here?
Yeah, one of these dark spots lights up. There it is. I think we're getting close to our finish. I think we are going to see a blazing fast 32-minute time.
Have we seen any finishes yet? No.
This is the #1 finish.
Wow.
The camel is escape. Done. 32 minutes 53 seconds is how slow we were in starting the timer. That's like a 6-minute average across 5 pretty difficult games. That is very fast.
Incredible. I mean, those are some fast times. Typically the best times we see are right around that, and that one guy got him for every single every single one. Who else is on the Troopas here? That's your team. Who do I pull up?
Good question. Andy's a Troopa.
Perfect. Andy, I believe, has not ever played a Jolly game.
No, he probably would not be happy that I just put him up here because, first of all, he doesn't have audio, so we'll switch that. But Andy is our local mystery game champion, has won mystery tournament a number of times, is just an absolute incredible gamer. But like we said, these aren't games. These are something else. Yeah. And Andy's only played like 3 or 4 of these, so. But obviously, getting to the 4th game already is doing pretty well.
Is making stuff happens. No hints. This is a race. Yeah, like anyone in the chat could give effective Jolly hints at any given time. We could, but like, no normal person can. You have to be intimately familiar with these games to have any. There's a lot of companies that make these. We've found Games Too Jolly to be the best in terms of everything. The best for racing, the funniest, the most surprising, the proper length to have a fun short race.
Yeah, don't go over to Games 2 Rule.
Yeah, Games 2 Rule, they're going to be long, and it's going to be mostly finding stuff and putting it in silhouettes. Games 4 King is kind of like Games 2 Jolly, but is a little different. There's a lot fewer of those. They're like more modern take on the genre. WoW Escape is like, they take like an hour. And it's just like, the rooms just keep going, and you just keep clicking on them. And it's like usually like real photographs of locations, and you just like keep going, oh, I can click here. Like, there's not arrows for when you can go to other rooms, so you just end up diving deep into these locations. Yeah, Games 2 Jolly has probably 12 different types of puzzles. Do you think I'm being generous with that number? It's probably not a lot more than that, or it could be less.
I mean, there's all kinds of like one-off stuff that happens.
It's true.
And then across 2,000 games, you get way more than 12 in the end.
And you get actually interesting stuff that will happen. Like, beyond just like the weird flavor. Like, sometimes a sink will be dripping and you have to count the number of drips to get a number code or something, you know, like a little bit surprising.
Yeah, it's tough because like you could boil a bunch of things down and put them all under the same umbrella of notice something in the environment and use it to input into a puzzle or something, right? If you reduce it down that far, sure, there aren't very many, but they do get genuinely clever sometimes.
Some girl has just lit off the bottle rocket, has the final bottle cap. And we're gonna get to see Jolly Boy take off and explore the universe. One small step for man, one giant leap for jolly kind. We get to see this again. I'm excited to see. I gotta focus here. Helicopter.
He's walking, and then the helicopter, and like he looks up at the helicopter, and he's like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
Look at the hand rock. There's just a bunch of weird stuff.
Didn't notice the hand drop. Oh wow.
I know they don't want you to see it. They try and distract you with these other things, but the hand rock is there. You can't tell me any different. Nico, Jazz, and Maurice have finished.
35, 55, 37, 21.
Those are 2 ghosts. Shout out to the ghosts.
Jackazam and some girl, also both ghosts, both now on the final game.
Ghost
Cannot
with the
believe
most.
these two lion mouths chaining this magic
Oh,
ball
here it is
above this
again. The
crystalline
hand.
orb. It's totally a hand.
There he goes.
That's so like interesting and creative to like make the to like
Yeah,
put a
you have
hand
to
in the
wonder where
sand
they
like that.
find. There's. They must not create all of these assets, especially in games like this, I assume. But like, who's making these? You know, like, what is the purpose of this? What is this for?
You're
I
asking
have
the
to imagine that
questions
what they
none of
do
us
is they
dare
just
ask.
have a close relationship with other gaming companies who have created other games that use these assets, but it's just, it's truly a mystery. I'd like to see, a Vice documentary on Games Too Jolly. A 2-hour-long expose.
Aaron Dobie got the 5-digit code immediately, went to the phone, put it in.
When you see these left-right locks, like you just saw in Jackazam, you want to try, because you don't know if you have the solution or not, and those are really easy to brute force.
Yeah, and you click twice just to see if the bar, they usually have a bar that fills up to let you know you're making progress.
Little
And
gem
so
under the
you just
cowboy hat.
click. There's so many circular holes and circular objects in this one.
Yeah, Maurice, I would be happy with your time too. Nico Jazz, also an incredible time. I missed it, but only 3 minutes behind that one guy. For how many people are in this, it's crazy how fast that one guy is compared to everybody else. It's crazy. Yeah. He really was popping off. He was on stream. It was blew my mind. Yeah, the Mars one was a classic. I loved watching Jolly Boy fly. Oh, here it is again.
Here it is again.
There he goes.
Oh man, the fact that the alien's just there and then no
Godspeed,
reaction. He's not
Jolly
even
Boy.
holding the sign. The sign is just floating next to him, even though it clearly should be in the ground. Oh, there's just so much. So much happens in just a short period of time.
Snowdozer with a fast finish. 40-11. That's also a Troopa. We're pretty even right now.
That is a standout performance from Snowdozer.
Yeah, absolutely. Took me forever to input research. That one guy was able to input research, I think, on a hunch.
Yeah, when you click through all of the available letters, like it's pretty clear that like it's not going to be Z, X, J, or whatever. And for some reason, those are always their decoy letters. They never
they
use
pick
good
the
letters.
Worst possible letters. You would never need them. I guess you need the J in Burj Khalifa.
Absolutely, but you can usually get a sense of what the word is going to be. Like sometimes you click through it, and first of all, if the word is jolly, which happens a lot, that's very obvious. But you just click through and you're like, yeah, no, that's going to be forest. And sometimes you haven't seen the word forest. But sometimes
not surprised that
Jackazam
didn't understand these holes were for skulls. They're weird shaped holes, and it's very unclear.
Yeah, there's kind of elongated blobs.
Oh, we get to see the reverse alchemy.
Oh, that's 5 of 6 balls here. And these wood blocks, I think, are going to give the 6th.
Oh, is this lights out?
I think so. Yeah, there it is.
Nice. I love lights out. Logs out.
A genuine puzzle.
Oh man, Jackazam's having weird cursor issues.
She's gonna try to drop the 6th one, and it's gonna snap onto the altar and become the last thing she needs to solve the game. All right. And look at this.
Look at this.
Sink.
The sink.
Camels marching side by side, 2 by 2. Jolly escapes for both Ghost, Some Girl, and Jackazam.
Wow.
Finishing.
Let me see who else is in
brain
here.
broke.
Yeah, finishing
9 seconds apart.
42:04 and Jackazam with 42:13. The 2 ghosts. Let's see who else is in this race. We have Muware and Exuno. Let me throw them up.
So there are points available, tickets rather available in a sort of sliding scale all the way down to a position that I will look up.
Oh no, I wrote nowhere.
Down to 10th. And Pika Pals finishing in 7th place, 42-48, is going to be earning 6 tickets for their team.
Yeah, how many positions get points here? Just the top 10?
That's right. I was expecting maybe everyone else below that would also get 1, but that is not the case. You gotta play. You gotta show up and do good.
Oh, whoops! I forgot how hard this music went. And there's a limited amount of Jolly music, but there's always more than you might expect. It'd be easy to just do the same song every time, but they have probably 10.
For 2,000 games, 10 songs. Wow.
You have to understand what happens with Jolly. The standards are so lowered for us. We have a hard time. It's hard to really...
It's easy to lose perspective on things. Yeah. I just wanted to point out that Pika Pal's finishing in 7th, and now Nightmare finishing in 8th place, who did not join any of the Jolly tournaments at all, by the way. Came in very cold and has done extremely well. Both Troopas, so putting some points on the board.
Oh no, Exuno says I gave up in 2 games already. What does that mean? Are we gonna have to see Exuno go back? Lights out! I'm so happy there's lights out. I know, I can't believe Nightmare finished so quickly. Way to
Nightmare go. is really good at games. Never really shows up for stuff, but like... Nightmare's really good.
He's got mid-boss syndrome where he's way too good and sitting on the sidelines all the time.
Yeah, we did. So for fun, we played through the old Portal and Portal 2.
And there's a finish for Aaron Dobie.
Not blind to it, but like it's been a long time, so let's play it and race it. And Nightmare beat me by like an hour and 20 minutes or something in Portal 2. Like,
jeez.
Yeah.
What about Pika Pals? Are they a Troopa? I think they are.
Yeah, I looked it up. They are. Ooh, we got our 9th and 10th place finishes in here. Not Igabod finishing in 9th, 44-34, and then Aaron Dobie just now freeing the Camel and claiming the top 10 spot, 44-57.
Oh no, Pika Pals isn't streaming. They must have an alt. This is a reasonable thing to put on your alt.
This is exactly what goes on your alts.
Now I'm not going to worry about teams. I'm just going to be pulling people up. So let's see. We can
of items.
We can probably close our prediction now.
I don't even know what prediction you made.
Which team came out on top?
Oh, I think math would need to happen.
Yeah. Yep.
Stuff.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm prepared to do that. Hopefully someone else will.
Somebody in the chat will do it.
Anyway, Andy's been stuck with all these items in his inventory for a long time now on this 4th game. We got Triscore on stream, going into the 5th game here.
One of the things we will typically say is that it's good to clean out your inventory. It does take time, but it saves time in the long run because you're not clicking around so much.
Yeah. Yeah, the cold-hearted optimizer might say like, oh, but you know, there's no reason to put any keys in until you have all the keys or whatever. But not only does it save time scrolling around the menu getting your items, but also there's something about like the seeing your whole inventory on screen just makes it so much easier for your brain to kind of realize what options you have available as you move around.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to show how Jolly is sort of an example of the human condition. You know, the psychological element can't be ignored when it comes to playing Jolly. Very much sort of a metaphor for a lot of different things in our lives. I'm writing a book, but I've been stalled.
Yeah, I tried to prepare a nice
Escape tricks are from Mars, puzzles are from Venus.
Jolly escape. Exuno has to go back to one of the previous games, cropped a little bit differently. That's fun. Mooware done with Jolly Boy Mars Escape. Moving on to the final game. Andy on this grid here. I can't remember what the deal is with this grid. You can solve it pretty early. And these are often trouble because pretty often it's not like a piece of a picture with like you make, recreate this pattern on it or whatever. Sometimes it's just like the letter M is etched into a car seat somewhere, and it wants you to go onto that grid and make an approximation of an M, and it will look like an H, yes, but that is the answer to the puzzle, right? Like, those can be really evil sometimes.
My favorite is when you need to put in something on a word, like one of those where you click through the letters, and it's just something that is in the scene somewhere. It's like I remember one where it was monkey, and there just like is a monkey somewhere.
Yeah,
you have to put in his monkey. It's like so unclear.
Yeah, those can be really bad.
Or sometimes where a puzzle clue, like there was one for levels and it was all 2s, and so everything just went to the same level, and there was a 2 written next to it, and you just had to know you had to move everything to 2.
Yep. Every now and then Jolly, like, it goes out of its way to like really establish these rules that it has in all these games, but you never know when they are going to just completely ignore them.
Oh my gosh. If you'll notice in chat, Myth, and I think you'll be interested in this, Aaron has written a crash course for his team in the art of Jolly.
Given that I am on Aaron's team, this is old news to me.
Oh wow. He
powered up our whole team.
I'm not surprised everyone did so well then, if they had the opportunity to read this. This is really we mentioned Jolly View and some other stuff. Some people, we just wanted to get as many people in the game as possible. Some people are like, I've never played Jolly, should I do it? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is incredibly detailed.
The part where it says, make sure to check that your inventory doesn't have an item scrolled off the bottom of it or whatever, like that is in there. That's an edit I suggested we make. As well as, like we pointed out earlier in this cast even, that sometimes there are arrows taking you to different screens that you can miss entirely.
This is interesting. When inputting height puzzles, start with the highest one. It's inconsistent whether the lowest setting is meant to be 0 or 1. That is true, and I never thought that starting with the highest one could alleviate that inconsistency for you, and it can, because you'll know how high it goes.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
And that can be your beginner strat, and then your advanced strat can be to assume it's the lowest one, and then if it doesn't work, just add 1 to all of them. Then you're guaranteed to never accidentally roll over. That's the final ball. Triscore.
I gotta read this one verbatim. Common sense should dictate that the fastest way to deal with locks is that you require you to gather multiple copies of an item is to get all the items first, then put them in at once. This is usually true. However, some games will absolutely flood your inventory with shapes and coins and brinjals. And in these cases, it's often worth it to dump all the items you have into their locks when it gets overwhelming. We were just talking about that. Aaron is on the ball here.
So they are... I think there's some kind of participation bonus that Boney hinted at. Despite being a moderator for this event, there are many details I am unfamiliar with, but people are still racing and still finishing. So we had TPC finish in 11th, 45-39, just outside the top 10. White Panther in 12th,
just went to
47-21.
Perfect.
Anosep, 13th place, 48-57. Arrow Fodder, 14th place, 49-58. And now Triscore, 52-13 is the time, finishing in 15th. And Exuno, that was the last game for Exuno, 52-46, finishing in 16th place.
These guys are finishing faster than I can get them back on stream. Same
Andy N4H has been trying to get Jolly Boy off this planet for a while now, but I think is finally past the bottleneck.
White Panther must have already finished.
Andy blew up the thing in the top right and is like, well, why? Why did I do that? And hasn't gone and picked up the thing. Okay, there it is.
I don't know, Mr. Moggy's straight.
All right, Andy's moving on to game 5. The Ghosts, the final tally is in. The Ghosts come out with the win on this one. They earn 15 more points than the Troopas.
Go Ghosts! That's a pretty small amount of points, honestly. That's we had a pretty close match then for our opening thing.
Yeah, there was just eyeballing this, like almost 100 points or something up for grabs, maybe more like 75. So for there to only be a 15-point difference means it was pretty close.
Yeah. Excellent first match. Here we have a reverse alchemy for Muware, turning an amazing magical thing into nothing and using it to walk out of the cave. Camel goes on its merry way. That should be a finish for Muware. And it is indeed with a time of 54:49. Right now we have only Andy on the stream.
There's a lot of other racers though. So
I know. I need to pull them up here.
Mutual friend of Andy and I is Oshixmir. We call it Oshmir is how you pronounce it. He's had a heck of a day today. Definitely went out to hit happy hour after work and has come back to play Jolly for the first time. So I feel like that could be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
I told him probably you don't want to be thinking about what you're doing too hard. So maybe this will be helpful in the long run, and is already on the 4th game actually. So
yeah, it's making some progress. When you say first time, how blind are they?
I don't know if he had ever heard of Games Too Jolly before.
Wow. That's somewhat incredible, I would say.
No, it's not.
No, incredible to be making this much progress.
Oh, okay. It's like you have completely lost sight of just how niche this is in our community.
You haven't heard of Games Too Jolly? What the hell is wrong with you?
Wow, incredible.
This is
Sit
crazy.
down, man.
You know, sometimes you meet someone and you just realize how different the world is, you know? you just really, it's hard to...
Just comes in there with this totally unique perspective on games.
This is why you really got to get out there, got to travel.
So after Muware, we just saw finish Blasphemous Roar as well, finished in 55 minutes, 46 seconds, getting the sub-hour. There's still a couple minutes for our players to maybe hope to achieve this. I think Andy's got a shot, but it's going to be tough for the others.
See if I can guess what Sully's stream is.
I think it might be like a 5 and an underscore and a...
Ah, yeah.
All right.
Sully, excellent puzzle solver, but as we've discussed, this is both a cocktail of puzzles and escape tricks.
Yeah, I've said this a number of times. As a tester for Mystery Tournament, is that's the only context in which I'm even familiar with Sully. They don't really participate in many of the events, so it is very fun to see them out here.
Am I just out of here? Am I just finished? Just...
Let's all get excited. Andy's excited.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see.
He is indeed out of here.
If anyone's got game audio. Oh, here we have. Andy is finishing.
Anyway, Sully is always doing testing for Mystery Tournament, and it's a hard job, first of all. So shout outs to them for doing it, especially thanklessly behind the scenes, I think, for Sully. And then also, not a lot of people know Sully is stone cold amazing at video games. Like, there are some test times that come out of Sully that's like, whoa, like really, really high level stuff, especially in puzzle games.
Yeah.
Does not help here, though. Nothing prepares you for this.
It's crazy. Some of our testers are actually really, really good. Oh, Shrambles just finished. Either that or gave up. No, just finished. I'm running out of people. 19th,
58:32 is Andy's time. Shrambles also sub 1 hour, 59:03. Ashmir's got the bottle rocket, needs the matches, and maybe the inventory is scrolled incorrectly. I think I see there's a spot at the top, and I wonder if the matches are in it, and I wonder if that's the only thing stopping Ashmir from finishing this right now.
Now, 90...
This would be a classic Jolly mistake if it's true.
I don't think 90 was in the tournament, the Jolly tournament. So 90 is just sort of feeling this out and doing pretty well.
God, look at this inventory for Sully. A broom, an old coin, a purple crystal gem, a bone. Just picked up a round what's it. All right, Ashmir found the matches. There it is. We got Cyro Hydra in the top right on the third game. But just obtained another cannonball. God, I love it. This one, I think this is the miss. Yeah, is stunned. Is completely stunned that the ball did not reveal anything new. I'm gonna guess that Cyro Hydra's been stuck on this one for a while, given that it's still game 3 after an hour. Yeah. I can only imagine how soul-crushingly disappointing it is to finally make progress and put this thing in the cannon, and then nothing happens.
Take this opportunity to talk a little bit about what else FunFest has to offer. We have, if I go to activities, this is the first event that has a specific date happening. I guess it would make sense to go over those first. Well, I can organize the website by them, but I don't know how. Here we go. We have a mystery race on March 20th that could be anything. We have a mystery race on March 26th that could be anything. And one on April Fool's Day, which probably is real. Then on April 2nd, there's a Peggle race. And on March 22nd, before those things, apparently, because this is the way the website is organized, I'm sorry, is a race of Scrabble on the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, that's pretty soon.
Yeah, what day is the 22nd? Is that, that's in 3 days. And I think there's something tomorrow. I should be clear about that. Oh, the Super Auto Pets
tournament. Yeah, I think it's
right. Competitions. Here we go. Okay, Super Auto Pets is tomorrow, which is a game where it just kind of, I don't know, it's difficult to describe. Game more or less plays itself, but you need to assemble a team between each thing. It's kind of like Slay the Spire if you didn't pick where you went.
No. It's a genre for this. This is an auto battler. It's
Okay.
it's Dota 2 auto chess. It's whatever the League of Legends one is. I forget.
Well,
Much
this is
like
what auto chess is.
yeah, much like how Dota was like use map settings, Warcraft 3 spin-off thing that eventually became its own game. People made their own spin-off Dota thing, and then that became super popular next to the game Dota, and now that has spun off and become its own game with its own genre.
Got it.
Teamfight Tactics, that's right.
I just figured that it had something to do with actual chess. I never actually understood what auto chess was, so good to know.
Yeah. Well, there's a grid you lay things on instead of 5 things in a line.
Sure.
But yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
same
sense.
stuff.
And I've played some smaller scale stuff like this, but never full games. What I did play of Super Auto Pets was super fun, though. It seems like a really fun sort of asynchronous tournament. Although it happens at the same time. The soonest one after that is going to be on March 25th, Sonic Robo Blast 2 Kart, a game that we've seen here a lot.
Twitch saw fit to play an ad when I attempted to load the stream, so yeah.
Wow.
I think odds are good.
Well,
Just
what a
in
time to lose
time.
internet.
Maybe. To see Oshmir finish Camel Cave Escape.
Perfect. That's going to be a full finish.
1 hour, 5 minutes, 49 seconds. Good enough for 24th place. We saw Sully as well. Well, we didn't see Sully, but they did finish 23rd.
I should hide
Just a little bit before. Off stream as well, Mr. Moggy finishing. Just after which Kieran H in race chat just put the letter A about 50 times. And there's the final escape from Nighty as well, 25th place.
I'm no longer privy to race chat because of what happens when you lose stuff on IRC.
Oh no. No, it's alright, I got you.
All right. Well, all I was doing is going over the different events. Go to the website. There's a ton of stuff. You're going to read it better than I'm going to be able to explain it to you, honestly.
Yeah, I think probably if you ended up here and you don't know what this is and it looks cool and you want to join, technically sign-up's closed, but I think we can probably sneak you in the back door if you really want to. So you could join the Discord and get in touch. Just give us a shout that you're in there and you're ready to play. And then you could join in and try to play. Oh, I don't know. Is there anything here that needs any context? Something like Adventure Ball. You're like, what? Why? What is this? I think if you don't know, then you should know that it's a very normal roll a ball around game until you get to a certain tipping point around level 7 or so.
Yeah.
Where the
super normal
the difficulty just a cliff, I guess, is the visual image in my mind. There's a The first 6 levels are basically flat, and then there is a cliff, and you must climb that cliff if you want to finish up to level 9, and then the hyper difficult level 10 is available as well for extra bonus challenge. So this is a people keep whispering the name of the Adventure Ball, like they keep tricking people into playing this game, and now this event is here to sucker in people who have already played it and are going to come back for more, knowing exactly what it is. Like, I don't know, this game just keeps...
And to be
like
clear,
black hole.
That is banned in chat. You are not allowed to say Adventure Ball in chat. So if you attempt to, and your message is banned by auto moderator, that is why. The phrase Adventure Ball is banned in Mystery Funhouse chats. That is how countercultural this game is.
I think maybe that's not true anymore.
Maybe only Adventure Ball in one word. It was true last time I tried. Yeah, there we go. Well, the real name is Adventure Ball with only one word. And you can't type that. Yeah.
You can't.
But anyways. Yeah, this game is so underground. It is so decadent that indeed we can't even speak of it here in its proper form, and that is why you need to play it.
You could also play F-Zero GX. You might think, okay, F-Zero, it's a racing game. Beat the story mode. Didn't realize that had a story mode, you might think. But I guess it makes sense for a racing game to have some kind of single-player thing to do in it. Why is that here? Fun fact, F-Zero on story mode is really, really hard. I don't know why they made it so hard, and I don't know why they made the hardest difficulty absolutely harrowing. It is mind-boggling why they thought it was okay to make it that hard, but they did, and you can try to do it for a bunch of extra tickets on top if you want.
One thing that we've had a lot of theory crafting on over in the Ghost channel is Super Mario 64 no hit. You get points for 10, 30, 50, 70, 100, or 120 stars plus beat the game, which I don't think we expect anyone to actually be capable of doing, but you never know. You should probably be able to get 30, and it stacks. The more things you can fulfill, the more you can do. If you get hit, you have to start over from the very beginning. There's a video game music quiz. If you've always listened to video game music and never had an outlet to to sort of raise yourself above others in, the video game music quiz on April 2nd is going to be a big deal.
I'm really looking forward to that one, especially because I think it would be stupid to do a restream of it, so I will play in it most likely.
Yeah, we should probably not restream that one, because you get just as much out of just clicking on the link, which you will be there. Like, the link will be public, anyone can join it, and there's not a limited amount of space. I think we're actually just going to be in the main room. The website's just constantly running, and we'll be in just the normal room, so we're just going to take over that site for a little while.
Well, I don't think so. You can make a private room.
Oh, you can.
I don't see any reason to do that. So yeah, it's great. They got a pretty wide selection of games that can be as surface level or as deep as you want. There's we're gonna be playing on normal difficulty, so you're gonna get like Zelda music and Mario music is gonna come up, but then every now and then it's gonna get a little bit into things that maybe you've heard of and maybe haven't. I really like the normal difficulty, and I just love video game music. For me, video game music and memories are very closely related, and so just hearing something from a game takes me back there, and there are all these neural pathways in my brain that light up when I hear the music, and so to have that light up and then have that transfer into my fingers and start typing the name of it is just inherently very fun to me, even if I'm winning or losing. So I'm really looking forward to that one.
Hot tip, I went in there, heard a Frank Sinatra song. I guessed Fallout New Vegas, and it was correct. So, if you hear Frank Sinatra, it's probably Fallout New Vegas. We have normal high score stuff like SSX, getting an IL on Wipeout 3 on a certain stage. There's a Tether.io, Tetrio, which is open source online Tetris that we can play. Where you gotta rank up to get tickets there. There's multiplayer stuff. Risk of Rain 2, I guess that's co-op. But there's Apex Legends, Battle Royale, which is like Scrabble, but Battle Royale. Call of Duty Warzone, which is a Battle Royale that is not a team deathmatch. That is not just the newest Call of Duty. I was a little mistaken on this, and there's an embarrassing thing that I said in the Discord where I thought you'd just like win half the time. I did not understand that it was a Battle Royale, in which case I do not think you will win half the time. Probably significantly less than that. There's Left 4 Dead 2. Everyone loves Left 4 Dead 2, so I've heard. There's you can play a co-op SNES game, one of the classics, Contra 3, Goof Troop, Mystical Ninja. Those are the only 3, but those are all classics. Peggle,
there are no other co-op games on the Super Nintendo. Those are the 3.
Yeah, I guess Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I could honestly probably only think of like 4 or 5 others, so fair enough. Those are 3 pretty good ones. Peggle Adventure Mode. There's going to be a mystery fighting game tournament on the 27th. That's certainly a thing where you don't have the ability to exercise that skill in a mystery context almost always. So
there is not a lot of fighting game players here in our community. There are some, but the mystery tournament that we do here, it has like close ties in its roots to the mystery tournament that is all about fighting games that happens on like Evo, and they'll do like little side tournaments like that. And they still do those mystery fighting game tournaments, and people still show up to play, and they find the wackiest, most bizarre fighting games, and then they stretch what it means to be a fighting game too. For the grand finals one year, they had that plastic board game. It's like a blue square, and you wedge in a bunch of white cubes into it, and you take a little hammer and you hit the cubes out. It's called Don't Break the Ice.
Don't Break the Ice.
Yeah, that was one of their grand finals one year.
That's fantastic.
So they're the same spirit of mystery tournament, of showing up and playing these crazy games that you've never played before, has been burning. That flame has been burning over there as well. So I love that we have a mystery fighting game tournament, even if I'm not a big fighting game guy.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, the FGC is probably the biggest streaming, outward-facing tournament or like video game community that's been around the longest, so it's good to pay some homage to our FGC brethren every once in a while, because they were big before speedrunning was. Yeah, and so right now, just to talk about the standings, the Ghosts are at 286, the Troopas are at 100. Although things are still early, they just launched today. Ghosts have top place on several things that just don't have any entrants yet, so I think things are going to be swapping around quite a bit.
Yeah, but the Troopas will be quick to point out that these are false points here. This lead is misleading. And
well, I don't know if it's exactly misleading. This is very much accurate to how the current totals are. I'm not going to try to be contentious here, but I think these are the points, and they're real points. They're the big points. If
half a brain, you would realize that obviously these points are not going to stand once the Troopas get in there and start mixing it up.
Perhaps they won't stand, but that does not make them any less real now. The real points are the ones that you made along the way.
I don't think that's the winning argument you think it is. Yeah, maybe we'll lose, but right now, when you haven't showed up, we're winning. Okay,
well, here's the thing. I like to be open, and in the spirit of what Boney wanted this to be. The fun is the journey, not necessarily the destination. I don't see any way the Ghosts could lose, so that's why I'm willing to sort of give you a little bit right now. But in general, I think
around there. I was ready to hit him with this is loser talk. This is straight up loser talk coming out of his mouth. But you turned it around there. Well done.
No problem.
That's about as much trash talk as I think.
That's about as much trash talk as we can do in Jolly. We're just too happy.
It's just too jolly a time. We had a bunch more finishes and a couple forfeits from some players. Kieran H overcame whatever was they were struggling with. Yuge finished after 90. Julo Ninja just finished. Congratulations to everyone, and thank you so much for coming and participating and in sharing in the jolly. It's a very wonderful, special thing.
Absolutely. And we will see you soon for more restreams, more matches. This is going to be something where it's sort of an individual focused thing. Everyone can be doing stuff all at the same time, so a lot of stuff won't be restreamed, but it'll just be about working with your team, getting in those voice chats, making that stuff happen. So you have a team channel if you're in the or in the Fun Fest, and collaborate. There's a lot of different stuff you can collaborate on. But yeah, thanks for the jolly. It was perfect. Thanks for picking those games, Myth. Myth picked the games, and I think they were perfect picks. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, super happy with how everything went. Happy fun festing, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow for the Super Auto Pets tournament.
Yeah, most likely. I'll be in the car, but maybe if I'm not driving, if it's a mobile game, I can just join.
Well, not you personally. I meant
on my phone.
Us as the broadcasters will see you, the viewers, here tomorrow.
I just want to, if I do well, I want you to know the legend that I'm joining on my phone from a car ride. We'll see if that happens.
And then if you don't do well, you'll be like, well, I was in the car. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very good excuse.
Nice excuse. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching.